What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I had to do this. Why the next 3 to 5 years are looking good for real estate. You know, we have a lot of people screaming at the roofs. It's going to crash. It's going to be a massive recession. So many things are going to happen. It's going to be awful. And it'll be nothing like 2008. It'll actually be quite lucrative for those who prepared, those who relocate, and those who just are in great positions. So let's go over some of the changes that I think you'll see and why it'll be good for folks in real estate. All right. So again, flippers, home builders, these are people they're saying, oh, these flippers, these home builders. Let's just be very clear. Home builders are behind. Well, America actually needs 25 million single family homes for the projected in 4 years where millennials will be taking up or being at their peak home buying ages. Well, let's just even dissect that, right? Out of 90 million millennials, a lot of them are living with parents and whatnot, but let's just go there. I've recorded several videos and I'll record several more. You have old inventory. You have inventory that is decrepit, that is falling apart. You have over 17 million vacant houses in America, but there's a reason for that. The quality where they are. So flippers and home builders will continue to what? Flippers will continue to buy rundown properties, put anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000 into them because they need them, honestly, upgrade wise, and still make a profit. You will have home builders moving further and further out. One of the arguments against home builders going out in the middle of nowhere where there's no infrastructure is they're creating sprawl. People do not care. People will keep driving further and further out if allowed, if possible, and also in this new remote work hybrid working schedule future, which we'll see more of. So they'll be looking for vacant land, which there'll be plenty of. You know, rates will be going up, so that'll adjust how much home a person can buy. So you'll see home builders not going for the $100,000 land and a $500,000 house, but more closer to 350, 400,000, if that, because of the way rates will play a part in how much the mortgage payment is. Affordable housing and government housing, we need, I think it's like 10 million or 8 million affordable housing units. I'll have to check the numbers. The government is essentially saying, hey, we've got a lot of people that need Section 8. We got a lot of elderly. We got a lot of disabled. We have many categories of people that we're predicting because of the boomers and because of certain age groups that we're going to need affordable housing and government housing. So there will be plenty to eat for home builders the next 3 to 5 years. Everywhere won't be like Texas. And let's be very clear, the 2021, 48% of every single house purchased, 48% of all houses were purchased in the Southeast. You have to understand that out of 50 states, only the Southeast, we're talking about Carolinas and down in what we call the SMAL, the Southern East, Southeast, accounted for that 48%. So you'll see more people moving, and I'll explain to you why you'll see more people moving, because I was in a little bit of our online tussle. You know how y'all like to tussle with a man saying, oh, these people are going to move back if the economy falls and stuff. People are not moving back to the middle of nowhere, Ohio, with no job. Even if they have a paid off house, they ain't doing that. They're not doing that. Why? The taxes and lack of opportunities. They're going to try to create a new in the where they are in Florida and Texas. Why? Because they've most likely, what I've seen often, is convinced their grandparents to come down, help with the kids. They convinced their siblings to come down. When I was in North Carolina, I met whole families moved from Ohio. When I'm in Florida at events, Canadians taking their whole family with them. It happens. Okay. So tax liens and tax deeds, this is part of why you see me promoting my tax lien course so heavily this year. You'll continue to see that. This is going to be, if you are in the tax lien, tax deed position, if you're getting some of our membership videos, which we're going to convert this video, I think after 24 hours to a member video, and do a few more land videos for our members only. NC tax deeds, going to be very ripe. You guys know my story about tax deeds. You can go watch it in previous videos. I won't bore you to death. But North Carolina has new values every 8 years. We're coming up on the 8th year. Why? Because they push stuff off and back because of the pandemic, the moratorium, and we just can't push it back no more. So you have all these places. Prime example, the lakes all over North Carolina, the western part of the state, you know, where you saw the movie Footloose or something dance with the can't back baby in a corner with the guy that passed away, his very good looking self. He was in Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze. They filmed that in North Carolina, Lake Lure. So Lake Lure and all those places, they're going to get a reevaluation. So those houses and boats and small motels that are all on the water, yeah, even if they don't got a mortgage, they're about to get a new tax bill. So you're going to see people selling. Okay. So, why is that important? Why does that matter? What does that have to do with tax deeds? You have a lot of movement out of the mountains of North Carolina. A lot of the elderly population have left the mountains. A lot of the youth have left the mountains parts and they went to Greensboro, Charlotte, Raleigh for work. Some all the way over to Wilmington, right? Why is that? Just jobs, opportunities. And who has moved into the mountain areas? New Yorkers, Virginia, folks looking to retire on small mountain farms, a lot of that population. So why will there be more tax lien tax deeds? Cities have been holding off for 2 years now. Okay. Now, your mortgage payment, and this is where when people say, oh, there's going to be foreclosures because of the rates and all this stuff. Your really what's going to happen is your mortgage payment, most cities and states, they do it this way now. Your taxes bill are included in the mortgage payment. So let's say your mortgage is $300 and your taxes have been low all this time. Now your taxes double. Now your mortgage payment that you've been making, that's $300, is now $600 or $700 or $800. That's going to change a lot of folks' life. Now, only other groups of people to affect are elderly, the retired, kind of managing their budget, where they make their payments for their tax bills. This is going to be a big issue, right? So you're going to see people who, they inherited a house or inherited a property in North Carolina in the mountains somewhere, or in the woods, or near, Raleigh, and they never did anything with it. But now the tax bill is doubled or tripled. Now you're going to get them on the phone. Now they're going to want to talk about selling. Now they might fall under the tax deed auctions, that kind of situation. So we just talked about mortgage payments. Now also think about this part about your mortgage payments. Up north, New Jersey, folks complain every day and night about taxes in New Jersey, Connecticut. New Jersey taxes are so bad that a millionaire, he's actually almost a billionaire, he basically told New Jersey, hey, y'all raise them taxes, I'm leaving. New Jersey's like, whatever, we do what we want to do. Of course, he left, took all his business and structures and put it in Florida. They had to call an emergency session to restructure the tax bill that year for New Jersey. Look it up. This is very big news. They were begging that guy and they were calling his bluff on him moving, and he dropped that paperwork and he got out of Dodge. Same like Grant Cardone, same like Elon Musk. They basically playing chicken with these states like, hey, you gonna raise these taxes, we gonna bounce. So now imagine the people that were already teetering on, oh, I'm never leaving California, I'm never leaving New York, I'm never leaving Ohio. And these taxes go up to cover these cities and states and services, and this elderly population, you're gonna see people bounce. You're gonna see them bounce. All right. So why are counties going 1,000x, not 10x, not 100x, 1,000x? Tax deed sales are going to go over because the pandemic. They gave y'all a break the past 24 months, but I keep telling y'all this 2022, this 2023, they don't care. Counties ran out of money, their budgets, they've had libraries closed, they've got a lot of services closed. Well, now that things are opening fully back up, the city has to explain, the county has to explain why the library is not open, why the public parks aren't open, why there's the roads aren't being paved and completed and projects completed. It's because of the budgets, because they ran out of money. It's because they gave the moratorium and a break on the taxes to everyone. Okay, so mass migration. This is going to play into this as well. You have a lot of people who have moved south or inherited land, like we talked about before, and they're going to look up and the city and county is going to be like, hey, this land's vacant. Nobody's here. We're raising the taxes on it. You're going to get a lot of people getting notifications in their mail at their new location, and they might just let the land go. If it's working out in Florida or it's working out in some Southeast state, they may just stay, right? So counties are going to get that money back that they've been waiting on. Is wholesaling dead? Someone said this other day, and I've seen it in some videos, and it's a combination of yes and no, but I think no, because it's always going to be a problem-solving situation. Again, we talk about boomers. You got 55 to 76 years old. You have people, parents basically passing away, and they're giving these houses, to multiple children, not one child, but multiple children. So the infighting, the multiple owners situation, people don't want to be bothered with it. Plus the taxes going up. So instead of losing their parents' house to taxes, they'll sell it to a wholesaler or sell it on the marketplace. That's going to happen. So another reason is they need to close quickly, right? They can't wait on 30 days from VA or FHA, or they already got the notification about to go to auction. So they're like, hey, can you close in this 2 weeks? You can have it. You can get rid of it. If you can give it to me, some cash quickly, I'll take it. And you'll see that with people who've been home for years, not working, no cash to fix up the place. So they'll be more open to that conversation. Also, folks living in another state. I told you guys there's people here in Austin who have properties who live in Houston, and they lose the properties all the time to auction. And I don't understand why. I'm like, you're 3 hours down the street. But people literally will sometimes be in such a bad condition that a house will be run down, empty, and they still won't sell. That does happen. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. But that's basically what I had for the next 3 to 5 years. If you're a person building a business on tax deed or tax liens, or in the real estate space, or vacant land, right, and you build new construction on it, you'll still have an opportunity to build low income new construction. That's something, my strategy I'm really focusing on is tax deeds in North Carolina, land in North Carolina, land in Texas, because when I did the math, by the time you buy some of these properties in Indiana, Ohio, Detroit, and you're putting money into them, and then the cities, not Indiana so much, or Cleveland as much, but Detroit is not enforcing property rights. It makes no financial sense to be paying $1,000, $2,000 for a property where a tenant's not paying for years. It makes no sense. So for me, the math is better to, hey, I picked up a piece of land for 10K, 20K, 30K, and now I'm going to build a small affordable house on it. And someone who's looking to be further out from the city, or even, to the next suburb off of a side street, that's an opportunity. Or you could actually go inside of some of these neighborhoods that are starting to be built and buy up a lot and build that lot there, same as well. So there'll be a lot of that opportunity out here. And I'll be bringing on guests to talk more about it. But if you want to ask me what the next 3 to 5 years look like, it looks like a lot of money just moving around still in real estate. All roads lead to real estate. I know people hate hearing me say it all this time, but it's really important. You have to see where people are setting themselves up. A lot of people say, oh, there's money sitting on the sidelines. Well, they're sitting on the sidelines, but at the end of the day, if I've got 10 acres somewhere in Tennessee and they don't have a problem with me putting trailers or mobile homes on it and times get tough, I'm going to go find, 20 mobile homes, right? I'm going to find them and line them up and put them out there, because a lot of times, depending on the situation with the city and the water, you can get those things worked out. You can get those things put on loan. You can get those things done with a small startup capital. So RV parks, all that stuff, you're going to see an increase in RV parks on vacant land. You're going to see a lot of movement. People getting in, the van life folks, instead of hanging out west, they're going to hang out in rural areas, Midwest. They're going to hang out down south where it's warm. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have questions or if you have thoughts on it, please share them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. This is just my thoughts on, the countless masterminds and conferences I'm in, how people are like massively partnering up, hundreds and hundreds of people in these groups, knowing the tax deeds and tax liens are going to be kind of all over the place. Just a mass exit rushes to the counties to make up revenue issues they had for the past 2 years. This is going to be happening a lot. And people are going to get really, like, I've heard some of you in the comments say that you're in North Atlanta and your taxes doubled. That's going to be going on way more than you think. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl Ericka from the Class Design blog. You guys have a wonderful evening.